My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. Well, I'll tell you all that this little moment we could kind of get back to a little Corgi carving here, and thinking from what I'm seeing, it looks like we've pretty much kind of taken care of what steps we needed to for the most part, and get a little work done from underneath the dadgum chin, and just kind of like put it on, and just kind of like just put a little something in there where we just like get it just so it's like just like this, and I could probably also just say just come in a little time where we just kind of like remove wood along these little edges as well, trying to just get little things removed here and there about whatever the heck we do with a little piece that's just going to be fancy enough for you and me. I think from what I'm kind of catching here onto, it's like there's probably a place where we can come in the middle and kind of do a little work into the feet now, do a little area between the feet where we got that little place right in that is going to just measure down to what a great life we have. And so I say that we just got a little space right in, and somehow or another just kind of like getting the little areas done where we come into this little spot and just kind of remove every little area that kind of needs to be gone. So I'll say in a little time or so, maybe just maybe kind of get a little extra taken from the front and get a little bit more of it removed in place, and just kind of like get the little thing just where it's going to be fine sculpting of a critter. I know just sometimes that it's just kind of the thing where we just get a little work, come right into a piece, and just get the thing coming just like this. So I could try to kind of move this down a little more. Maybe I'd say with what we got coming along, there's just probably going to be more steps where we can observe just a little bit more of what to do. So maybe I'd say it's probably a good time now to kind of get around to sanding some things and getting just the right spots into some work. And whatever we have here, I'll tell y'all that we just kind of got to put a little sanding away on things, and up here on the little fur and the mane of the pup, just kind of get fine little objects to see what we have of a nice work we do. I could kind of just put a little sanding along there just to kind of see what this is going to make when we all just get down to fine little works of art and whatever the heck else we have. So finally, we're going to kind of sand a little over the tail here, and try to get other bits of dadgum work to come right into the freaking old piece. And just to say that we're just kind of working away it every little dadgum thing we got just to kind of put a piece in mind for one little thing we do right after a freak another to kind of work the little dogs out of the little dadgum little area. And I could say one time or another there's coming along this place that is on the back of the head, more going towards the little neck, and just what the heck we got to do is just kind of like remove that little freaking area along, kind of get the little spot in shape, just to kind of like do whatever fancy type of work is going to come that way. So try to remove a little more, take it on the last bit of life we have in the little freaking place we're working in, and just kind of screwing away with all of what we have left. I don't know what else. And so kind of get a little bit of rough sanding done in this little dadgum spot to make it so the little puppy is just kind of coming the dadgum right way, and seeing how we get the little tail in motion, and putting a little bit of something with all the little musical instruments in the background. And I say, not that we have any, but the way a little thing just kind of popped in my mind here and there. I know one thing for sure, that we got that much come along, but when it comes down to a place where we got to do the dadgum ears, that's just one thing. We come in here, take care of this little spot, and get it just right in the middle and a point in place like it just freaking needs to be. So thankfully we're just working on and making little things just where the wood is just a fine little idolized sculpture. You know, it's just kind of the things that we see with what we got to do, and just kind of like put in a little extra place to make it so the ears are going to be a little rounder like we just did, and kind of take the sandpaper along that area and kind of remove the little marks that the knife had made, just to kind of give it a little bit of a better type of perfection in itself and make it come out much better. And then just to see what else we need, just kind of take on that old spot, you know, and see what it's all coming right down to being. So we just kind of took care of the best thing we needed to, and there's other little steps to come along further. We got to find the right papers to do it with, try to just get where we can kind of find what would be a good old 80 grit. That's the next grit we need to use. And so getting down to it, we're sanding along the space, just seeing how we can make something come out better for the future in a little project we have to make for little pups and little dogs and little corgis and heck else I tell you, you know, just sanding along here, moving along the way, and just kind of like put things into perspective in just the places where the very awesome type of work really most needs to be. And seeing what it's coming down to, you know, it could almost make the corgi almost look a little mouse-like in a way, but I'd say there's probably a little solution we can find to that. Kind of remove where the nose just got a little bit too big and just kind of like sand that out, spread the area out a little bit, and just kind of try to get things right to a great, awesome little space. So with all we have, I mean, there's probably going to be a time when we'll get down to another little grit here. Kind of have to see what's available here. But, you know, I tell y'all that sometimes the next thing to come is usually a 120 grit. We have that right here to kind of sand this along with. We might be done with the carving and sanding part here and maybe be ready to go on to the painting part in the next video of the series and try to see just where this is coming and where this is going. And I know sometimes, just sometimes, a little awesome work can just cherish us away and tell us all we're going to see brighter heavens and brighter worlds and brighter days and everything else that just comes right our dadgum way. And so I know one time or another we're going to get a little thing done here, but you know, come down to it, I say we're just going to have probably coming down to a 220 and then to a 240. So sometimes it's just try to best to use all the kind of different grits you got, going from the roughest to the smoothest, to try to smooth down the little bit of work and get the wood so it's nice and so the awesome color shows. And with this being a wood that is practically the color of a real Corgi, we're going to leave the wood bare on certain parts and only paint certain parts and kind of give it its color, so it's going to be a blend of things to make. And so I say all the extra types of dadgum works that make a little thing just blush away and blow away. I say it's just kind of a time when we just kind of got to put things to work for our own benefit. And I can probably just tell you all a little stuff we're going to do as we go further in the series. We're going to do some painting. We're going to do some burning. We're going to put a little tag underneath and all the other things that come right with a little sculpting here and there. So I'd be happy to share a little more come to it and just try to like get what we have done with this and seeing what we have just kind of chipped and rounded off the underside of the tail here, and just to try to get a little bit of extra awesome work done right into the piece. And like if you see in the titles, you know, Corgis are a royal dog. They're considered royal as they're kind of like the breeds that kings and queens have had and have shared in places and around places and had around their castles and stuff. There's places where they originate from in Europe and so many more places I'd like to share for us in our future videos. So I just want to say to you all that I thank you all for coming in. Little work coming this way. We're going to make it so it's going to be nice and easy here and there, kind of just getting our little space right in where we just got a little time to paint things out here. We're going to find the little paints the next time around and use some white and some pink as our only colors. And I will make sure to make it look more like a Corgi than a pig when we get around to it, because it does look kind of a little pig-like now. And I want to thank you all for coming together into this live, reaching out to me, reaching out to us, and reaching out for the... Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.